Hi, I want to tell you about Julia and her 5-year-old child Sammie, who came to me after about 3 years of trying to figure out what was going on with her child's behaviour and who could help her. Now, please note, this story about Julia and Sammie is fictional, and their stories, though, are a synthesis of many different families that I've seen over the years. So, Julia recalled that when Sammie was a toddler, they expressed anxiety when they were with other children at times. Sammie had anxiety separating from Julia and her partner. They had some long-lasting interests, but they were super good at talking. So this meant that although there were a few worries, when they visited maternal child and health nurse, they were told there was no major concerns. Sammie hit all their milestones in time, and when they got to kindergarten, they were told that sometimes anxiety is around for young children and that social skills are still developing, and that these would come. So it wasn't until beginning school that things really seemed like Julia needed some answers for. So being able to concentrate in a classroom was a real challenge for Sammie. There was anxiety attending or being left, and that had increased considerably. And although Sammie liked learning about lots of different topics, didn't really seem that interested in what the school teacher was teaching. Friendships weren't really developing that quickly at all, and behaviours at home had become a bit more challenging. Sleep was harder to come by, and worries were really becoming evident. Also, what was noticeable was sensory issues with food and clothing seemed to become more of an issue. So after insisting on a referral from her GP, then paediatrician, Julia eventually got a diagnosis from the local public autism team, but had to wait for this for about 15 months before having ADHD and autism spectrum disorder confirmed for Sammie. By the end of that process, though, she had felt she'd battled the entire way and was quite worn down. So now the work for Julia had just begun. She had the diagnosis, but she had to educate school, family, and other people about Sammie's needs, as well as finding out what kind of support would be needed in the school and possibly the allied health space. So this story has been too familiar, and even if some of the differences with the age and the child's details are different, the reason that I created Glimmer and the Glimmer Spectrum journey was for parents just like Sammie, just like Julia, and for kids just like Sammie. So Julia really needed support at this overwhelming time, and too often I hear stories from parents about their diagnosis journey that took an awfully long time, and also because they weren't sure whether they were on the right path or not, and how to explain their concerns to professionals so that they were really taken seriously, so that they weren't dismissed and they didn't begin to believe it was all in their own imaginations that these differences were there for their child. So Glimmer is a program that will help you understand your child better and will help you answer those questions about, are you on the right track about seeking a diagnosis? It's also my intention that Glimmer will help you understand the process of getting a diagnosis and understanding all the different parts to it and what you can do to get it done sooner or with less stress. I want you to be able to have a common language to communicate with professionals that you might need help from, and I think Glimmer really gives you a good idea of what to expect and to plan for in the coming weeks or months. So Glimmer is also very, very importantly about celebrating autism and really focusing on the strengths and the positive about inherited neuro differences and understanding how to support the areas that might need it. It's taking those things that make your child different, allowing them to become even more themselves. So unique Glimmer, I hope, provides you with the knowledge and support at a time when it can feel a little overwhelming. And I want you to develop that confidence that you are doing the absolute best for your child and your family. So if you want to feel more hope about your situation and you think that this sounds good, please check out my program because I'd love to be able to help. So who am I? I am a clinical psychologist who has been working in the autism space for about the past 16 years, and I've put my heart and soul into this program. It is a 4-week program starting on the 8th of March 2021, and I hope you will join me. And if you want to know more, please click the link that might be with this video or pop me a message to find out a little bit more about it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.